Hey, it's Jason with Denwerks. Got something really special today. It's a 1964 Chevy Impala Super Sport, and it definitely is a real Super Sport. This is actually the first year you could actually decode one in the VIN. Usually you had to look at the data plate and it had to tell you if it had bucket seats, but this is the original color, ember red with silver interior, and I believe that you could only get the silver interior in a Super Sport model. So actually really cool car in general, and you can tell it's a convertible. So you know, these cars are very popular back in the 60s, 70s, all the way up in today. Very popular with the lowrider group, which I think is pretty cool, but this one has not been modified or anything like that. And it's still even wearing the original hubcaps. It's got a 327 in it with a 4-speed. It was a, you know, obviously a factory V8, but it doesn't have the original motor in it, and it was originally a Power Glide car. So, but it's been upgraded with 327 and 4-speed, which I'm not complaining, because 4-speed is definitely fun to drive. So we'll walk around it here and show you some different things about it. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and show you the headlight, or the marker lights first, and we'll go on with the headlights. We got bright lights, and then we got blinkers. Got your left, and we got our right. So those are all working. All the rear ones work except the reverse lights aren't working, but all the other stuff does. So we'll just walk around here and just show you some different stuff. I love the grills in these, and I love the bumpers. I love this rib section here in the bottom. Really cool. I mean, I wish cars had style like this today. When we look across the grill, it looks really nice. It's original, but you will see a couple little scuff marks and different things on it, little scratches, but overall looks in good shape, you know, for being original. Emblem looks in nice condition. You can see it has one original headlight, one of the T3 headlights. You see a couple little dings right here around this outer eyebrow area. So overall, looks in really good shape. When you look down the side, actually looks pretty nice. You know, it's a big bodied car and a lot of flat panels, but it looks nice looking down the side. You can see a few little minor waves, but that's probably just the way they came off the factory as well. But what's really important is all the body lines are nice and straight and crisp. Doors open nice as well. Go ahead and we'll take a look at the windshield. You know, no cracks or anything like that. A few little tiny little divots, you know, just from being driven, but overall looks in good. And one of the things that it was ordered with was a tinted windshield. When you look at the cowl tag, you'll see the tinted windshield there, and you know, it was one of the options. And one of the other options too on it was, and you know, I think, you know, today we have dual mirrors all the time, but that was an option over there on the right hand side in these cars. So again, we'll just look at the trim. You're going to see little tiny divots, little tiny scratches and different things from being driven, but overall pretty nice. You're going to want to see one tiny little blister right there in the bottom of the fender. The rest of the fender looks good. The rockers look good in the car. I love this machined aluminum. It's just pretty cool. Always like that. Hopefully a new car they can do that. You can see here at the bottom of the rocker, we'll put it on my lift so you can see it. I believe that the bottom half here had been replaced at one point. You can kind of see some kind of seam work underneath here when I put it on my lift, but again, you're just going to see little scratches. And it's kind of nice that, you know, you can buy all this stuff new, you know, but I like to use original when I can. You know, it's just, I don't know, I think original fits better and it looks better, even though it has little flaws and different things. So we'll look around the wheel lip. Very nice. I'm gonna say probably the paint's, I'm guessing probably about 10 years old, 10, 12 years old. And you know, they did a pretty good job in general, so I think it looks nice. Not a lot of orange peel or anything like that. It's actually pretty smooth and nice and glossy. Definitely something you can take to Cars and Coffee, something you can have a lot of fun in, and it just looks good. We're going to go ahead and flip it around here so you can see the other side out in the sun, and we'll go ahead and show you some more. Here we are. I just wanted to flip it around here so you can see it on this side with the sun and everything. Actually a really nice looking car. It's one of my favorite years. Love 63 as well, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to take a look at it with the sun out of the shade a little bit. It's just dark on the other side, so definitely a super sport Impala, like the VIN from what I told you before. Okay, I guess I just want to go ahead and we'll start with the tail lights. I know the reverse lights aren't working, but go ahead and turn the tail lights on. We got tail lights, kind of hard to tell out in the sun, but they are on. Then brake lights, and then we've got blinkers. You can see the left. There we can see the right, and then you can't see it, but the license plate light works as well. It's just tucked up way underneath there. So we'll go ahead and walk around the rest of the car in general. Again, it's a nice car. You're going to see a few little flaws here and there, but for 1964, super nice car. I love the taillight panel in these. It's just really iconic. I mean, a lot of people like these cars, but you'll see a couple little little scuffs on the chrome. I love the way that looks. Always have. Very, very cool. Kind of a machine type swirl. Very, very cool. Tail lights look good. The bumper looks in nice condition. You can see a couple little smudge from our hand, but we've just kind of been driving it and enjoying it. You can see right here where someone rubbed it quite a bit, but it actually cleaned off there. Okay, it's actually wax, but you can see a couple little scratches and things. But overall, this machine brush looks really cool, and looks in nice condition. Emblem, you can see one little tiny crack right there, but overall looks in great condition. For a car that you're going to enjoy, take to car shows and drive around, I mean, it's perfect. If you look down the side, looks actually pretty straight. All the body lines look really good. All these lines look pretty nice on the car, and then they continued the machined aluminum down the side as well. But you're definitely going to see, this is original, which is really nice because they do reproduce it. But I like original if you can have original, but you'll see some little wear marks and stuff on it in general. Original emblems for sure. Around the wheel lips and everything look really, really good. I haven't seen any rust issues or anything. Again, the body line is in great shape. We'll go ahead and look at the bottom of the doors. The doors shut real nice. You'll see a couple little nicks. Sometimes if I'm pointing at things, it's just because I'm showing a little paint touch up, little chips and different things. But overall, the doors look really good. We'll show you the interior in a little bit. Bottom of the fenders look in good shape on this side. Again, you're going to see some little scratches and stuff on the chrome, just like on the back too. So overall, looks pretty nice in general. I was going to show you the boot. There's a couple little splits in it there, and if you look on the other side, you can see it's ripped right there. But I love this car with the ember red and silver interior. You can see Stanley over there. He's pretty excited, taking a little nap. But anyways, I love too that someone didn't put some big fancy wheels on this or anything like that. I love the original hubcap. So we'll go ahead and show you some more. Hey, I wanted to go ahead and demonstrate the top for you, but first of all, I'll just show you the top real fast. It's actually in pretty good shape. I haven't seen any rips or anything. A little bit of an older top, but it actually looks really nice. You can see a little bit of dust right there from the top going up and down, and it just sitting. But overall looks nice. No bubbles or anything across the front. Back window looks in good condition. Hop over here and just take a look real fast. The top actually goes down really nice, but coming up you definitely have to help it. You can hear the motor working, but you got to kind of lift it up and then it'll catch. So you just got to help it up all the way. So just go ahead and look at, the gaskets. Don't look in bad shape, but go ahead and put it down. We'll just show it here. Yeah, so it does go down nice. We'll show you the boot. Again, we'll just look at the gaskets. Look nice, and across the header there, it looks in good shape. But go ahead and lift it up so you can hear the motor going, but I have to lift, and when I do lift, then it stops there. You can see when it stops there, you can hear the motor. So I just gotta kind of help it, then it stops where it was at. So it might be something with the gearing on the upswing, and there we go. So, but it does work. It's just coming up. It needs a little bit of help. So you could probably do it by yourself. If you're using the lever, come back, lift it up a little bit, then go back and forth a little bit. But two people would be a little bit better. So anyways, just wanted to show you that. Hey, just wanted to take a look at the interior. I love this silver interior in it. From what I decoded, as I mentioned before, I think that you could only get that in a Super Sport model, and looks really nice up against the red. You can see they continued on the door panel, so looks nice. They had the steering wheel as well. So padded dash was one of the options that I was talking about earlier, and you can see here this is an original tack, and they continued with the machine finish in the interior, which looks really cool. And I think the last cars I remember seeing that was maybe in a Trans Am or something like that from the 70s, but I just love the look. I mean, that was really ahead of its time for 1964, but I love looking through the dash. It's just laid out pretty nice, very, very cool. I like the console, showing Super Sport. Really nice car. You can see the steering wheel actually is in really nice condition. You can see one tiny little hairline crack right there, and another one right there. Pretty common on a lot of these cars. Original VIN tag is right here. You can see 4 for 64, 1467 convertible, and the 14 is for a Super Sport V8. So definitely that's what it is. You can see a couple little, I don't know if this is the primer, if it was painted yellow at one point, it might be just primer right there. But overall, the nice thing in here, it's not rusty, actually really clean, no accident damage, looks good. And you can see the rubber gasket is coming off. It tore off right there, so a new gasket would probably be needed there. You could probably glue that and keep it there, but the rest of the gasket looks pretty good. Door panels are in nice shape. Carpet across the bottom. This gasket looks in nice condition. Look inside the door jamb here. Again, it looks nice. I don't see any accident damage or anything like that. I can see they might have done, remember I was talking about they could have done a repair on the bottom half here, but it looks like they might have done a little bit up here on the inner jamb here, just the way some of these little spot welds kind of look. That doesn't look from the factory, but then again, I mean, this car's got a lot of age to it, and someone's cared for it, and I'm sure repairs have been done, but I haven't seen any accident damage. And usually some of this has to do with they get rusty down here in the bottom, but overall it's actually pretty clean. We'll put it on my lift and you can get a good look at it in general. So I'm just trying to show you everything that I'm seeing you know, with my eyes, so you can make a good decision. I mean, I think it's a great little cut right there. I think it's a great car, and it's well put together, and especially for a convertible, you know, it's a pretty desirable car overall. You can see the speaker. I just thought that was a great thing that Chevrolet did. So we'll go ahead and hop on the other side so you can take another look. Okay, here I am on the passenger side. Again, the doors shut really nice on the car overall. I won't be as long on this side overall. Just wanted to show you it from the other point of view here. You can see the factory 4-speed shifter and console. Again, the car is not a factory 4-speed itself, but someone added this, and definitely I'm not complaining. I mean, that's a cool addition to the car. You see the glove box, trunk release. And I don't know, go try that real fast. It's not working, but I think that was probably an added accessory to the car. I hadn't noticed that before until I opened that. And you can see all the carpet looks in good shape. I like the floor mats. Again, if you look in here, the jambs look really good, not rusty, and no side collisions or anything like that. Door panels look in good shape. And the rubber gaskets are nice. Window felts look good too. You remember on the other side I was showing you that this was ripped off right here, so this one is all intact. We'll go ahead and look at this jam here. You can see here there has been some work on the quarter, and a lot of times what people do is they try to feather this in, but I'm sure that there was some work on the quarter, and it probably was a long time ago. I mean, because you know, I know the previous owners didn't have any work that I know of on the quarters in general. So you know, it's been a lot of years, so these cars always tell a tale. So, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. There was probably some repairs in the quarter, but I don't think from accident damage or anything like that. You can see here original seat belts. You know, overall looks pretty good. So we'll put it on my lift and we'll drive it around and show you different things about it overall. But nice old car for sure. Here I wanted to show you the wipers. I haven't been able to get them to turn on. Go ahead and turn the button. You can hear a little click, and I'm not 100% for sure, but they're not turning on right now. I also wanted to show you this little bubble. I don't know exactly. It's not a rust bubble. It's just something that's come up through the paint there. But you can see the size of it. It's kind of small, but just wanted to point that out in general. So hey, we're going to take a look underneath the hood here. There's a little lever right there, and then you got to pull up on the hood. I couldn't do it with one hand, so I had to have a little help. You know, Chevrolet was pretty good with some of the numbers, but it's really hard to tell what this car came with originally when it came to engine and horsepower. We do know it was a V8, and we do know it was a Super Sport 100%, but this is not the original motor to the car. I'm guessing this is probably a 65 or 68, and if you look right here, it says E, and I'll take a picture, EA, and EA is for a 65 or 68 engine with a manual transmission. 68 had a 4-speed, so this is what this motor is, and it was originally a Power Glide, and you can tell that from part of the VIN. There's an M, actually not part of the VIN. Over here on this data tag, you can see right here these group numbers. We've got W, and then group 2 is MPR. The M is for Power Glide, and then you got group 3 and group 5. And group 5 was for the right hand mirror right here, the W, and 3C was a padded dash, which it actually has, and then you got Power Glide M, and then the backup light. It was backup light or remote mirror, And it does have backup lights, which is an option, and no remote mirror. And then I think the R was for the tinted glass up here. I wrote it on my hand. I'm not trying to be real smart, but now I can't read my writing there. And anyways, and then you've got your color codes. You got trim is 805. I don't have that written on my hand, so 805 is the silver interior, bucket seats, console, and then you can have an N or a 922 is for the ember paint. And so, you know, pretty correct in general. You know, the motor compartment looks really good. One of the main things we're looking at in here is no accident damage. It actually looks really clean. You know, the firewall is very nice in general. You know, so core support looks good, radiator looks good, and you know, the engine, it actually runs really good, you know, and it feels good driving it. You can see it's got power brakes. You know, it's got drums all the way around. We did rebuild all the brakes, put new master cylinder in it, new cylinders, and new brake shoes up front. And we did various other service work. When we get it up on my lift, I'll show you some other things about it in general. But go ahead and start it up. We'll hear it run here. Actually starts really nice. You'll see there it's got power steering. You know, but overall, looks good underneath the hood. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. You know, it definitely sounds good. And it's kind of nice to see the fan shroud here. A lot of people take those off, but you know, I think someone was trying to make the car nice and correct, and it looks good. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look in the trunk. You know, trunks tell you a lot of things in general about these old cars. And I got thinking about the quarter panels, and because when you look in here, they look nice and clean, you know, very nice. But what I did notice, and I don't notice it on this side, on the passenger side, but I was talking about the quarters. This quarter panel here, this bottom half, has definitely been replaced. If you look up there, you can actually see that seam going around the edge. So that quarter panel's been replaced, and I don't think from an accident. I think it was probably a rusty quarter panel. I mean, it's hard to tell, but the inner housing isn't damaged or anything like that. It looks good. The tail light area looks nice, and this is the original up here. So, you know, the trunk gutter and the top of the quarter looks in good shape. If you look here on the other side, it is the original quarter. You know, there's no seam or anything like that. And I can reach all the way up here, and I don't feel a seam up in the front there, but there was a little bit of work on the inner jamb there. So overall, pretty clean trunk, you know, with not any issues besides the replacement there. We can look at the floor. You know, it's nice thing that this isn't all glued down. And another place you want to look on these cars is all these areas. You know, there's no damage or anything like that, and they're not hit at all. You can see here, this is a factory seam, but this one here has been smoothed out. So overall, it's got a couple little things that have been repaired. You know, it is definitely has age to it, but it's, you know, a great car for sure and pretty desirable. We're going to go ahead and look underneath here. Usually this is a spot, especially on any of these old cars, where they get rusty. This one's actually really clean on it in general. So hopefully that gives you a good look at the trunk in general. I mean, structurally, I think the car's in great shape, but it's had a few typical repairs that you see on vintage cars. So we will show you some more stuff.
This is
did put brand new tires on it. The tires on it are about 30 years old, and drives way better now. So you can see here on the dash, the gas gauge, it does work, but it's close to E. I mean, I am a car salesman, right? So can't put too much gas, but I will give you the floor mats in the car. You can see the tach is working here. Hopefully you can see that in the video. Speedometer works. Odometer shows 71. Well, it's 07112, so assume that's rolled over at least once. But I don't know if it has. I mean, it's been a lot of years though, so we don't have any paperwork documentation. Obviously the radio works. I was going to show you here. The lighter will come out here in a minute, but you can see that hear the fan, and I can hear it switch for defrost, and there's the, probably not going to smoke in here, but if you got a USB, you can use that, so that all works. So I like definitely having the 4-speed transmission, super fun to drive. The horn, it does work, but you got to do it in the center. It's not working out here on the sides. But overall, nice driving car. This is something that someone definitely can enjoy. So go ahead and enjoy the weather here. It's been nice in Oregon. We got a lot of farms out here where I live now, so really nice, and a lot of nice curves out here. And so we'll just cruise around and talk to you later. Hey, here we are. We're going to take a look underneath the Impala. You know, you're still going to see all the still photos and stuff that you normally see in auctions and stuff, but we like to do videos underneath. I can kind of point out things and show you different things about the car in general, and you can kind of poke at things, and just a little easier to explain in general. So we'll just start from the front to the back, tell you some of the stuff that we did, some of the stuff that you might want to do in the future. You know, again, it was parked for a while. You know, just helping the family sell it. So, but we did do some good maintenance to it, but it still needs a couple little things, but nothing that would, you know, make it affect its, you know, driving in general stuff. So it's just general old car type stuff. So anyways, we'll just start here, the front to the back. We did do the brakes on it all the way around. We put a new master cylinder, and then we put new hoses. You can see here they were getting kind of brittle, so we put new hoses, and we also put new cylinders all the way around it, and we put new brake shoes, I believe, on the front of it as well. You can see the ball joints, they look pretty good. You know, on the other side I saw one that had a little crack in it. I'll show you over here. You can see a little tiny crack in the lower ball joint, so you could probably get a new cup for that. But the, you know, it drives nice, so I don't think the ball joints are bad, but I think you can get a new dust cover for it. You can see here this hose looks good, obviously, because we replaced it. You know, underneath looks in pretty good shape. You know, one of the main things here, it hasn't been hit in the front. Looks actually really clean. You can see here. And the nice thing too is the frame is in actually really good shape. X-frame, as you can see, like all the early GM cars in this body had. You know, everything looks pretty good. You can see here it's had some paint done on the engine. You know, nothing special. This is just the way I got it. And looks, I haven't seen any oil leaks or anything up in the motor. In general, it's actually pretty clean up there. I don't see any leaks coming down. The only thing that I've seen here is there's a little tiny leak at the back of in the front of the transmission between the bell housing, and that's the only leak that I've seen. You know, we did change the oil and stuff, and we topped off the tranny. That's what this date is here. And the fluid's really clean, but we topped it off and double checked it, but that's why we put a date there. That's when it was last checked. You can see the mufflers, it's got dual exhaust. They look in pretty good condition. I haven't seen any holes or anything. It's actually fairly new. You can see they're all the way back. So, and that was probably, I'm guessing it was probably done in the last, I don't know, probably 10 years. If you look at the floorboards, really, really nice. Floor extensions look great. It was undercoated when we had it, or got it. But you can see they're really solid floors. And this is a notorious area in these spots that they rust, or in the rockers here, and they look really good. You can see here the bottom of the rocker looks in good shape. I think they did some quarter work for sure on both sides in this area. You can just see it's just a little wavy here in this section where they did some repairs. You can see a little Bondo edge right there, but it's actually pretty solid in general. So if you look at the inner rocker, this is really important areas. It actually looks really good. We'll go over here to the other side and take a look at the inner rockers. You know, they look in nice shape. You can see through here. You can see at the bottom of this rocker. You can see here that probably what it had happened, they probably put a lower, maybe a lower quarter in here, just the way this overlaps here. So they probably put a lower. That's really common. So that's what I'm guessing on both sides. Look at the rest of the rocker. Looks in good shape. I don't see any bubbles. But again, inside here is where it looks really good. You know, up here by the firewall. Let's walk back here. Frame's in really nice condition. We are going to replace this, actually. I noticed a little drip right here and a little dampness here, so we're going to put a new pinion seal in it. U-joints look good. We've hit all the Zerk fittings and everything, so you know, everything's looks nice on the car, but it still needs a little bit of maintenance, you know, whenever you choose to. You can see here the springs are older, and it has a little bit of sag in the back, but you can see they put this little knuckle in here, and you put it in there and it spreads out the spring to raise it a little bit. There's a couple different things you could do. First would be just get new springs. But what you could do is put air shocks, and it had air shocks on it at one point. If you see right here, there's a little fitting right there, so they had run lines over there at one point. So I checked on air shocks, and that's something you could do. It's about $100. If you wanted us to put those on there, we could, and about $100, and then $100 labor to put them on, so about $200 if you wanted us to do that, or you can do it yourself. But since we have a lift and stuff, it might be easier for us to do it if you wanted. So, or we could put new springs, so I don't know the cost on those. So anyways, if I was going to do that, I'd probably put new springs and new shocks all the way around. So you can see here the gas tank looks good. I haven't seen any seeping or anything. It looks in good condition. You can see the exhaust again coming all the way back here. Looks nice. The bottom of the rockers, you can see a little bit of filler work right there, but I mean not the rockers, the back behind the quarters. They look in good shape. Trunk drop-offs look good. You know, get in here, no accident damage or anything like that. And all the body mounts look good on the car too. I mean, you can see here where the body mount is. You know, it's not rusty around here or anything like that. Take a look at this side. Actually, you can see on this side there's a little bit of rust, not major, but just right around that body edge, around that mount, you can see a little bit of rust. That'd be probably a pretty easy repair. Just take this mount out, cut that out, then just put a neat little piece of metal there. Let's take a look, since I just noticed that. And all the other body mounts. We'll just double check here. Hard to see. There we go. Right in here. This actually looks really clean. I don't see any issues there. You can see here, that body mount looks good. The metal around it looks in nice condition. And then we've got two more right here, back here. And that looks good. And let's pop over here. Yeah, I just never noticed that little spot there on this one here, but again, it's pretty minor. If you look up inside the wheel tubs, very nice. You don't see any issues. And probably one of the reasons that probably got a little rusty there, you can see that gas filler comes through there, and it probably water leaked and dripped down into that area. So we'll just take a look at the other side, inside the wheel well. Everything looks really good. You know, 64 Impala convertibles are great rigs. A lot of people like them, and this one's actually in really nice condition overall. And so if you got any questions, you can give me a jingle. If you need anyone to come over and take a look at it before you bid, I'd love to show it to you, take you out for a little spin. And otherwise, just you can make comments on the auction and stuff like that, and be glad to answer. Have a great day.